Another young Sheldon character returning for Georgie and Mandy's first marriage revealed in new image. The world of young Sheldon keeps proving that just when fans think the show has wrapped up all its surprises, it finds one more way to pull the rug out. CB's The Big Bang Theory prequel is in the middle of celebrating its final season, and the creative team clearly isn't shy about tying up loose ends while also throwing a nostalgic nod to the original sitcom. The latest tease? A brand new promotional image has revealed that yet another young Sheldon character will be present for Georgie and Mandy's highly anticipated first wedding, an event already poised to blend equal parts humor, awkwardness, and genuine heart. But who's back, why it matters, and how it all ties into the Cooper family's evolving story is where the fun really begins. A wedding built on chaos and love. Ever since CBS announced that the final season of Young Sheldon would showcase Georgie Montana Jordan and Mandy's Emily Osment marriage, fans have been speculating about what the ceremony would look like. This isn't just any wedding, it's the culmination of a relationship that has been equal parts unconventional and sweet. After all, Mandy initially wanted nothing to do with Georgie when she found out he was a teenager pretending to be older, and yet, through co-parenting their daughter Cease, the two found a rhythm and built a family. The first look images of their wedding already show plenty of Cooper-style chaos. Mima Annie Potts trying to wrangle her emotions, Sheldon looking more out of place than ever, and Mary Cooper juggling her maternal pride with a dose of religious skepticism about how fast all this is happening. Into that mix comes the surprise guest, someone fans weren't expecting to see again before the curtain closes on the show. The returning character, Pastor Jeff. Yes, the new image confirms that Pastor Jeff Matt Hobby will be back for the big day. This makes perfect sense, considering he has been a recurring presence in Mary Cooper's life throughout young Sheldon. Over the seasons, Pastor Jeff went from being a background authority figure to a character with his own quirks, struggles, and comedic beats. Seeing him return for Georgie and Mandy's wedding feels almost poetic, because Jeff represents both the Cooper family's connection to faith and the absurdity that often clashes with it. His guidance, sometimes unwanted, has been a staple of Mary's parenting approach, and even when he wasn't around in later seasons as much, his presence was still felt through Mary's devotion to the church. Now, bringing him back for the wedding doesn't just tick a box, it adds an extra layer of authenticity. The Coopers would never have a big life event without Pastor Jeff finding a way to insert himself into it. Why Pastor Jeff's return matters. At first glance, Pastor Jeff's role in Georgie and Mandy's story might feel minimal. After all, the couple's relationship hasn't been framed around church values, and Mandy herself has often bristled at the overly judgmental religious environment that Mary subscribes to. But that's exactly why his return carries weight. His presence underscores the tug-of-war that defines Georgie's life. On one hand, he's a young dad determined to carve out a life for himself and his new family, even if it doesn't fit the mold. On the other hand, he's still rooted in the traditions and community of the Coopers, where the church plays a central role. Pastor Jeff's officiating, or even just hovering around the ceremony, creates the perfect backdrop for humor. Fans can already imagine his interactions, him trying to gently correct Mandy's irreverent attitude, Sheldon blurting out logical inconsistencies in Jeff's biblical references, and Mary treating his approval as gospel truth. Thematically, it also reminds audiences of the role faith has played throughout young Sheldon. Even if Sheldon himself has no patience for religion, the Coopers' lives are steeped in it, and seeing Jeff again helps tie the series' finale back to one of its earliest pillars. The Cooper family spotlight. It's easy to forget sometimes that Georgie's story has been running parallel to Sheldon's the whole time. The wedding episode seems primed to lean into that balance. While Sheldon is clearly the protagonist of the show, this season has doubled down on giving Georgie and Mandy the spotlight, especially since they're set to headline the upcoming spin-off. Pastor Jeff's reappearance ensures that the Coopers' world doesn't narrow too quickly before young Sheldon bows out. Instead, it expands the family dynamic just enough to feel authentic, letting us see how all the major players in their community react to Georgie's life choices. For Mary, this is validation that her son is trying to do the right thing. For Mima, it's another opportunity to roll her eyes at the church meddling in family business. For Georgie, it's one more hurdle in trying to keep his wedding from turning into a lecture. Mandy and Pastor Jeff, a clash waiting to happen. One of the funniest dynamics this wedding could explore is between Mandy and Pastor Jeff. Mandy has been one of the few characters unafraid to stand up to Mary, call out hypocrisy, and cut through judgment with biting sarcasm. Putting her in the same room as Pastor Jeff, especially during her wedding, is a recipe for comedy gold. Will she make a snarky remark during the vows? Will Pastor Jeff passive-aggressively hint about her moving in with Georgie before marriage? Will she win the crowd over by shutting him down with her trademark wit? The possibilities are endless, and the returning image seems to tease that this won't just be a background cameo. Jeff will likely have at least one memorable exchange with the bride. This gives Mandy another chance to cement herself as one of the best additions to the Cooper family in young Sheldon. She's not just Georgie's partner, she's a spark that makes every family interaction livelier, and pitting her against Jeff highlights that perfectly, building toward the spin-off. Another key reason Pastor Jeff's return matters is the bridge it builds to Georgie and Mandy's upcoming spin-off. CBS has already greenlit the series, which will follow the couple as they raise cease and try to navigate adulthood together. By including Jeff in their wedding, the show keeps continuity strong. Even if Pastor Jeff doesn't play a big role in the spin-off itself, having him present at the wedding signals that Georgie and Mandy's world will remain firmly tied to their Texas roots. The spin-off can then pick and choose which supporting characters to bring back, but fans will know the DNA of the Cooper family, and their church ties will still linger in the background. Weddings in sitcom history. Sitcom weddings are always big events, and young Sheldon clearly wants Georgie and Mandy's marriage to stand among the greats. From Friends to The Office to How I Met Your Mother, these milestone episodes become touchstones for fans, often blending chaos, comedy, and heartfelt emotion. By bringing Pastor Jeff back, young Sheldon leans into one of the genre's most consistent traditions, the quirky officiant or religious figure whose personality becomes part of the spectacle. Think Joey performing Monica and Chandler's ceremony in Friends, or Reverend Lovejoy's sardonic remarks in The Simpsons. Jeff is in that same vein, equal parts straight-laced authority and laugh-out-loud awkward. In short, his presence ensures the wedding won't just be sweet, it'll be funny, memorable, and uniquely tied to the show's own identity. Wrapping up young Sheldon with full circles. As young Sheldon nears its end, it's finding smart ways to bring characters full circle. Pastor Jeff's return may not be the flashiest cameo, but it's emblematic of the show's attention to detail. He was there in the beginning as part of Mary's worldview, and now he's here at the end to bless, or at least witness, her son's biggest step into adulthood. For fans, it's a comforting reminder that no thread in young Sheldon was ever wasted. Even